1969, November. Cream magazine, Volume 2, Number 6, features an article discussing the hoax, The Paul McCartney Death Hoax and How It Grew, by Dede Loreen. The article features Russ Gibb, Dan Carlisle, and John Small from WKNR. Polydor Records of Canada releases the LP Very Together, an album consisting of recordings from the Beatles' early days with Tony Sheridan. The LP sports the infamous candelabra cover. 1969, November. WNEW-FM News Close Up, with Christopher Glenn, discusses the rumour. Glenn interviews John Summer.
I don't believe Paul's dead, and I believe that this was intentional, that they wanted the masses to discover these inferences to Paul's death and take it as such, and then let the rumor pass over.
Why would they want to do this?
Well, for their own enjoyment. Can't be anything else, really. You know, it can't be publicity, because they certainly don't need it. And, you know, how far can you go in the musical field without getting a little bit bored?
Dr. Stanley Milgram of the City University of New York Graduate Center.
The two elements that underlie a rumor are first ambiguity and secondly importance. Whenever you have an event that is ambiguous and yet important, you get rumors developing about it. And I think if you look at the McCartney issue, you'll see that both elements are present. We're not certain whether he's dead or not. The cues that have been provided are at best ambiguous. On the other hand, there's no question as to the emotional importance of a member of the Beatles. I mean, after all, the Beatles are the saviors of this decade.
1969, November 2nd. The New York Times publishes an article by J. Marks entitled No, 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 Paul McCartney is not dead. In this article, Marks recounts the night he and Linda Eastman attended the party held by The Fool in 1967. It is obvious by his words that Marks did not actually believe the story of McCartney's untimely demise himself. 1969, November 5th. Variety article published. Rumours of McCartney's death put buku life into Abbey Road's sales, states the article. The ballyhoo seems to have spurted sales into an all-time peak pace for the British combo. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, Magical Mystery Tour, and The Beatles, aka The White Album, all resurfaced on Billboard's Top 200 LP chart after all being absent from the list for about a year and a half.
Life magazine had a photo of Paul and his family assuring distraught fans that Paul is still with us.
Linda makes no secret of the fact that the latest rumors have upset them.
You know, I just think it ruins our life, that kind of thing. Because I don't think people realize that for them it's headlines in the newspapers, but everybody starts bothering us. You know, when we come out here for a holiday to be left alone.
(1969, November 8th). Billboard article, Death Pushes Beatles Sales. WKBW-AM, Buffalo, New York, puts on the radio program, Paul McCartney is alive and well. Maybe. Jefferson K hosts with guests Dan Neverith, Stan Roberts, and Sandy Beach.
My immediate reaction to the McCartney puzzle was, sure, why not? These guys are capable of almost anything. And if anybody could pull off a massive deception like this, it would be somebody like them. They certainly have the necessary funds, they have secluded mansions, and to all appearances, they have the minds to find a certain amount of satisfaction from hatching a plot like this. But then, after spending many hours, too many hours, sifting, sorting, and listening and arguing, and we did do some arguing, I felt that this surely could not be this thing that everybody felt, this feeling that McCartney was dead. I didn't feel that it could be, but I did feel that the mountains of evidence were far too great in volume alone to be just a series of coincidences. So I think that the Beatles, in the past few years, have very consciously laid the groundwork for the event that we're exploring tonight. And incidentally, the sale of their old albums has increased tremendously. You just try to buy a copy of Sgt. Pepper at the corner record store. I honestly feel that right now they're laughing. I really do. I think they're laughing. But I think it's a pretty sick laugh.
George Martin, arranger-producer for the Beatles.
He's alive and well, and with his wife and their 2 children, and the dog Martha. Ringo and Paul and their wives went to see Mary Hopkin at the Savoy. There were numerous press people there. His way of life continues normally. He goes to see his father. He goes to soccer matches. He does the McCartney things. He is McCartney.
Mike McGear, Paul's brother.
Actually, yes, he died in an earthquake in Mexico in 1917. No, actually, it's my baby that is doubling for him. My little baby girl will be the 4th Beatle soon.
Paul McCartney.
I was barefooted because it was a nice day, and if it's a nice day, I don't like wearing shoes. I wore a black carnation on Magical Mystery Tour, and the other 3 wore red. The reason for that is that they didn't have any more red ones, and I just got handed a black one, so I stuck that in my buttonhole, you know. If the conclusion you reach is that I'm dead, then you're wrong, because I'm alive and living in Scotland.
The Mike Douglas Show. McCartney's younger brother Mike McGear appears on the show with his comedy group The Scaffold.
What do you think? You've heard all the clues. Is your brother Paul McCartney alive?
No, I think he's dead, all right. There's the proof. There's the proof. You need proof. Yeah.
When was the last time you saw your brother?
The last time?
Yes.
It was his funeral, I think.
1969, November 29th. Rolling Stone magazine reports Capitol Records Vice President of National Merchandising, Rocco Catena, as claiming, "This is going to be the biggest month in history in terms of Beatles sales. Rumble on McCartney's death creating nothing but extra sales in all my markets." It is also reported that New York had significant pickup sales of all Beatles catalog albums and that the action in Dallas was tremendous. 1969, November 30th. Paul McCartney, The Complete Story Told for the First and Last Time. An RKO syndicated television special with F. Lee Bailey aired on WOR-TV in New York. A mock trial is put on with Bailey questioning such witnesses as Russ Gibb, Fred LaBour, the Beatles manager Alan Klein, and Paul McCartney's younger brother Mike McGear. After the program was broadcast, all videotapes of the show disappeared and remain lost to this day. Only audio survived thanks to a Beatles fan who recorded the show off his television as it aired that night.